Okay, so you can also make a colored frit with your CFE enamels. So I'm going to put some clear frit in a couple of cups. Actually, I'll do 3 colors. Again, this is Slumpy's clear coarse frit that I'm using. And then all you have to do is add your enamel. I've got 385 sienna here. And I'm just gonna, should have mixed up the enamel first. Let me backtrack here. You could mix it into it, but let's mix the color first and then add into it. Okay. So it takes a little more of the enamel than you think, just because you're liquefying it, and then basically you're going to put the clear frit inside that and create a colored frit. So depending on how much enamel you mix up will determine how much frit you can add to that. Make sure you get that all mixed up. And then add your, you can see it's still pretty loose and runny. I'm going to add about the same amount again. So you want it kind of dry. So you can, I don't have any back here with me, but you could take and spread this out on parchment paper. You could just to dry, and then you can use it, or you can just use it wet. So let's mix up some 86. This is 386 burnt sienna. Mixing it with the glass medium. Now, when you mix the enamels and you add the clear frit to it, you've got to remember that when it fires, the frit is going to diffuse the color, okay? Because the clear melts and it's going to push open the color. Like I said, you could take parchment paper, foil, wax paper, flips, and you can put this out on it and let it dry and use it dry. What you have to do is just keep turning it. You can put a fan on it to dry it. Okay. So you could do this with any color if you want to do the centers of, just a regular flower. You could put greens and yellows in the middle. This one here is 380 burnt umber, and I'm not going to make as much of it. Burnt umber. Which is a darker brown. So you're just mixing to the same consistency that you've been doing your enamels. And then we're just going to add some of that clear. Maybe a little bit more. All right. Okay, so if I were starting a center, okay, over here for the sunflower, I would start with my dark. Let me come in just a little bit closer. So you could create the shape. You can also, we need to put some layering mix in this, which I forgot to do. So you could mix it with layering mix as opposed to the medium, and that's going to allow it to become stiff and hard so that it will stay in shape. Let's add some of this around the bottom. You can always add color to this later, as far as adding shading on top, that type of thing. And I'm showing you extremely large so that it's easier to see. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of layering mix to these other two colors. And what that's going to do is just allow us to build these up so that they'll stay in the shape that we create, and then depending on how hot we fire. So you could randomly put some of this dark. And like I said, if you let it dry, then you could just add it. Just kind of take your fingers and crumble it onto the area. Mix that layering mix in it. And this will turn out like a black brown when it's fired. Okay. All right, so you can kind of see it's built up quite a bit. Let me lift this up again and turn on the side camera. You can kind of see that up close. And over here on the side camera, you can see the mound of Frit. Okay, this one, I tried to dry these a little bit. And what I'll do now is dry them and then come back and show you, because even just on the clear one, you can come back and drizzle your enamels on there and create the colors you want once that's hard. Okay, it does need to be completely dry before you do that. And that's another way, or you can, I've got some glitz out here. I've got some copper glitz that I'm going to add over the top and show you how to do some bling to it. Okay. All right, so we will dry these and I'll be back.